Hello Libra, welcome to your weekly tarot reading here on Dove and Serpent Tarot. This is for the week of December 11th through December 17th. Now please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. Alright, so what is the biggest challenge that you are facing this week? What is the fight of your life that's coming? What is it that you need to know? What is the energy coming through? What is the message for Libra for this coming week? And we have an excellent Six of Cups. This is showing some great prospects for a lot of emotional stability, emotional harmony. Let's put that into some context with our Dove and Serpent spread. This is looking pretty good so far. We're going to include a mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card, whatever you want to call it. We're going to leave that right there. We're not going to look at that until the very end of the reading, so be sure to stick around to the end. And hopefully that card will, tie the reading together or give us the confirmation that we're looking for at the end, right? So, some good-looking cards here. We don't have a lot of major arcana. We have a little bit. What we do have, though, is a lot of cups, so a lot of water, some earth, some fire. What we're really missing is the air, though, okay? So what that tells me right off the bat, right from the jump, is that there's a little bit of a lack of communication going on in your life right now. And I think that this could be really a lack of expressing yourself, a lack of really communicating your needs, your desires, your intentions, really just kind of putting out there what it is that you want for your life, right? And what I see this week, like we said at the beginning, was the Six of Cups. And I think this is a really beautiful card. This is showing a balance and a harmony in your emotional life. I think this is a real stability, a real blossoming of some kind of love energy, right? And crossing this kind of theme, this idea this week, is this Ace of Discs or Pentacles. I think what this is indicating is perhaps the beginning of a new, maybe romance, but the beginning of a new connection with someone, okay? The beginning of a relationship, an interpersonal relationship. It doesn't necessarily have to be romantic, okay? I can hear the groans now. It's not necessarily romantic, okay? This could be a platonic relationship, could be in your professional life or your personal life. I feel like I've been saying that a lot lately. But if this is a romantic relationship, then so be it, right? What's wrong with that? Either way, I feel like there is a new relationship that is kind of getting started this week, right? With the Ace of Pentacles here, we see something new beginning. We see kind of the seeds of a potential, tree, a potential blossoming, fruitful tree or flower, something that is not yet fully expressed or fully manifested, but something that's still in the beginning stages, something that is just being planted, right? It's still that potential. And so there's no guarantee that it's going to become that, fully grown and blossomed tree or plant that we're planting, but within this Ace of Discs is the potential for that wonderful, manifested, fully realized relationship, okay? And it has the potential to really be a fulfilling, satisfying, just a really, really beautiful and harmonious relationship. Something that's really going to satisfy you emotionally, something that's going to be very fulfilling. It's going to be, I think, right in line with your intentions, with your ideals, with what you're hoping for your life, what you really want to have in your life, right? So this is kind of the potential. Okay, and I think this may be coming in the form of a new relationship, okay? And again, could be platonic, could be romantic, but I think that this is a potential relationship with someone, either on the professional level or the personal level, that's really has the potential to blossom into a really wonderful thing. And I think that's coming at the perfect time in your life, because in the recent past, we see an Eight of Cups. This is telling me that the energy that you're bringing with you today into this reading is one kind of some disappointment in the emotional realm of your life, right? I think there's been some failed relationships. I think there have been just some relationships that haven't quite kept your interest, haven't quite had that emotional fulfilling component to it, right? Maybe that, you know, the physical was good and everything seemed okay, but there was no real emotional connection or wasn't a really deep connection. So there's been some kind of disappointment there. There's been a little bit of, I'm getting this feeling almost like you're almost done trying kind of to have that really deep emotional connection with people. It just seems like you try, that's really what you're all about, but when it doesn't work out, it just leaves you a little bit dejected, a little bit more cynical, a little bit more pessimistic, and almost to the point where you don't even care to try anymore, right? I'm getting a little bit of that vibe. But what we see at the bottom, underneath it all, right? On the very bottom of the path of the dove is this Two of Cups. I think this is your intention. This is kind of what your deep desires are, maybe even your kind of unconscious drives, right? It's this drive for union. This drive to have that really deep emotional connection with someone. And again, could be platonic, could be romantic. If it is romantic, that's good, right? I mean, I don't know why people complain about that. So this is your deep-seated drive, right? This is kind of what your unconscious will is striving for, and that's the really deep emotional connection, the bond with people, the very harmonious relationship, the reciprocal affection and love, the mutual support and care, and, you know, the really deep connections. Okay, I think this is what you're unconsciously striving for, and I think consciously as well, But your conscious mind, I feel, is now, at least in this moment, more focused on the business, the professional life, the career, the workplace, the money situation, okay? We see a 10 of discs at the top of the path of the dove on the vertical axis, right? So this is more of your conscious focus right now. And I think you're more focused on career, business, kind of the more practical things, the finances and the money and stuff, right? I think that's where you are putting more of your energy currently. But I think there is still this kind of unrealized desire or need, or this more unconscious drive to have this emotional connection, to really establish this in your life, right? To embrace this, to realize this, to forge this kind of watery connection with someone or with people in general. I think this is just kind of like, that's what you're trying to do with your life, is you want to connect with people, whether that's on a romantic level or if that is a platonic or a more professional level. And then it's interesting that we do see this 10 of Pentacles up here at the top, because if you are more focused on your career or the workplace, or your business, you know, finances, getting the practical needs met in life, I wonder if that is where you are experiencing the most lack of emotional connection, personal connection, right? If we're talking about your workplace or your career environment, is there this kind of unconscious need for a connection, this unconscious drive to have a personal and meaningful connection with people in that environment, but you find that it's lacking, right? And that's where we get the 8 of Cups. You find that there's no real personal connection there. It could be as well that you don't have that emotional, deep personal connection with the work environment itself, not with the individual people per se, but with that career choice, that field of work that you're in, the job that you have, right? So it could be as well that this Ace of Discs is you finding a new potential job or career or employment environment that is going to be more conducive to this emotional fulfillment that you're looking for, right? So we can take the whole romantic relationship aspect out of the reading altogether. For those folks that don't want any kind of a romantic reading, this could be your relationship with a new job, new career, new employer, right? That's going to have the potential for this 6 of Cups feeling, this connection, something that you're really going to vibe with, something that's really going to resonate with you and bring you that emotional satisfaction. Okay, and that would really make sense here, you know, being that we have the Ace of Discs or Pentacles. I use them interchangeably. And then the 10 of Discs or Pentacles here at the top. This is kind of, I think, you know, it might be more of that career-focused energy that we're seeing here. But either way, I think the opportunity is going to be coming soon, this week, this coming week, in the next few days, perhaps, where you're going to see that there are more options out there, that there are more possibilities for you to correct this Eight of Cups, lack of connection, the lack of interest, really the lack of heart, you know, in your current environment. You're going to be able to realize some of this more unconscious drive to have this union, have this connection, have this meaningful, fulfilling emotional experience, which then could blossom into this really lovely Six of Cups, this fully realized, beautiful, harmonious, really resonant environment that you're in. Now, this could be, again, I just want to restate that. I know some people have a problem with me repeating myself a lot, and I do tend to do that. I apologize. But some of these points I think are important, and so I like to restate them, okay, just so we can kind of keep on track as well. But I think this could be another person, okay? This could be a particular individual that you're going to then become aware of that is a possibility to establish this Six of Cups. So this could be, you know, literally a new relationship with someone, or it could be a new relationship with a new entity, environment, right? A new job, a new career, a new situation. All right, so take that however it resonates, but I think the important aspect of this is this emotional component, right? The potential that we have here to realize our unconscious drives for union, for connection, for love, and to get over this kind of pessimism, this kind of cynical or dejected feeling that we're kind of in right now, right? To get rid of that, to kind of correct that, I guess, or remedy that, I should say, and then realize this Six of Cups. Now, also in the immediate future, we see another six, more beauty, more harmony, more resonance, and this is in terms of your life path, your spirit, your passions, right? Your more kind of subtle or spiritual life path that you're on. And this is that beauty and harmony and resonance there. So I think through all of this water energy, right, that is being fully realized via this earth energy, right, these new opportunities, this new relationship, either with a person or a environment, a new situation. Through that water energy becoming realized, I think you're really going to be fulfilling a larger part of your life path, right? I think you're going to come out of this really feeling like, okay, I'm finally back on track, right? I finally have the connections that I want. I'm feeling motivated. I'm feeling emotionally involved with people and with things and with my life again. Okay, so I really think that the remedy for this Eight of Cups, being this new opportunity and this really wonderful fulfillment and resonance in your emotional life, is really going to make you feel like you're at one with your purpose again. You know what I mean? Like you're really motivated toward your life again. Okay, you really have this passion and this love and this enthusiasm going for you again. It's going to be a kind of a balanced confidence. It's going to be a real kind of a spiritual experience, I think, right? When you make these connections, when you realize this Six of Cups, right, this emotional fulfillment, the emotional connection, it's going to give you a more general sense of satisfaction with your life path, right? So maybe you're kind of going to come out of this feeling like whatever this Ace of Discs is, if this is a new relationship with a person, a new relationship with an employer, or a career opportunity, I think you're going to feel that this opportunity is really part of your overall destiny, right? Like it's really part of your life purpose. You're really going to feel like you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. And not only is there going to be that emotional fulfillment and the emotional component, but there's going to be this energetic, this vital component, this spiritual component, right? It's going to feel like you're fulfilling your destiny kind of thing, okay? And I really feel like this is a meaningful kind of result of all of this water, earth energy that we see. Because, you know, looking at this, it's water and earth, and coming out of that is this spiritual fire, this light, okay? And that takes us over to the path of the serpent, and I'm curious what's going on here. So right off the bat, a lot more fire, okay? So we're kind of taking the fire that we started over here on the path of the dove, and it is becoming more manifest, more expressive, more potent, more present in your life through this experience, okay? But first, your general energy, a little bit of water. This is the Prince of Cups. This is someone who I think is very dynamic in their emotions. I think this is someone who is really kind of prone to highs and lows, okay? I think this is and you know, being Libra, I think you are already familiar with that, just naturally part of who you are, part of your nature. But I think you've been experiencing more of that lately, because I feel like this is your general energy now. It's almost like you're trying to put on a happy face. You're trying to present yourself as being full of these positive emotions, friendly, happy, cheerful, right? But inside, you're not quite feeling that way. It's almost a kind of fake it till you make it kind of attitude, right? Where maybe you feel like if you just put on a happy face, if you try really hard to be happy and cheerful, then maybe you'll start to become that a little bit, right? So there's a little bit of that kind of dynamism in your emotional life right now, and how the internal and the external are trying to harmonize, trying to get in sync, but it's almost like when the more you try outwardly to be happy and cheerful and connected and present, the kind of less you feel it inside. And that takes us right back to this Eight of Cups, right? So I think that's, you know, that's kind of, these two cards are connected, and I think that inwardly you feel that Eight of Cups, but outwardly you're still kind of trying to make it work. You're trying to present yourself as this really personable, really friendly, really, you know, because I think that's what you want. It's a more unconscious drive, like we said, that unconscious drive to connect is manifesting, I think, as your forward-facing persona, right? It's being expressed in this very friendly attitude, this really kind of eager, very enthusiastic persona or mask that you wear, right? But inwardly, I think we have an Eight of Cups. Is that making sense? I think it's the unconscious drive that is fueling this persona to have this kind of maybe overly friendly, you know, or overly enthusiastic persona or mask. And inwardly, the Eight of Cups, it's not the same internally as externally. Okay. I'm sorry if I'm spending too much time on that. I apologize if I'm repeating myself. Now we move on to this fire, and the rest of this reading is all fire, except for the mystery card. Don't know what that could be. Maybe that's going to be a little bit more earth. Maybe that might be another major arcana. So the first fire card we have, this is in the realm of your interpersonal relationships. Okay, so this to me is really, I think, simplifying and restating, repeating again, restating what we were talking about with this Ace of Discs, right? This is that new opportunity, the new connection, the new seed of this potential, just wonderful flower, wonderful blossom that we're going to see, right? That's manifesting as the Six of Cups. So we have the Ace, of Discs that is, hopefully, if things work out, going to really become this Six of Cups, this very fulfilling, very beautiful, very resonant experience, this emotional connection with whatever the Ace is. A new person, a new place, whatever. Okay? And now we have an Ace of Wands, the fire, the seed of that real spiritual fire, the passion, the light, the purpose, the will, the sense of destiny, the sense of being on the right path, that feeling. That's a more spiritual experience, right? Not the emotional feeling, but the spiritual feeling, okay? And I think that this is the opportunity for that, All right, we already started to talk about this, but now it's becoming a little bit more clear. This Ace of Wands has the potential, if everything goes right, to blossom into this Six of Wands. Okay, this real sense of connection, of spiritual connection, right? Of this really kind of subtle connection, this deeper connection with people that goes beyond the emotional level. And this is the connection with the universe in that sense that you're right where you need to be. You are an integral part of the wonderful, beautiful harmony that is the universe, right? You have your place in that dance, and you are fulfilling your role in this, and it feels like you are fulfilling your destiny, right? It feels like a very spiritual kind of connectedness. So it's interesting to me, and I hope it's as interesting to you. Let me know in the comments what you think. But I think it's very interesting that on a more practical, more down-to-earth level, we see this new connection leading to some emotional fulfillment. Okay, and then on the spiritual level, we see this new opportunity leading to this more spiritual fulfillment. Okay, so we have an Ace leading to a Six. This is the really two examples of the most perfect kind of manifestation we can ask for. The Sixes are the perfect cards, right? Perfectly in balance, perfectly harmonious. Everything is just vibing. Everything is resonant. And the Aces are the seeds of that. This is what we plant. This is that chance we take, the risk that we take, forging that new connection, planting the seed of that experience. And we can only hope that through a little bit of luck, a little bit of our own determination, that we can manifest these Sixes, right? On the emotional plane and on the spiritual plane. So this is really kind of above and below, heaven and earth. We have kind of both realms here, right? The practical, physical realm and the more subtle, ethereal realm, spiritual realm with this fire energy. And I think that's really, really important. And I think this is something that bears repeating. So again, I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself, but I think this is a really auspicious sign. I think it's really great to get these two pairs of cards here. Anyway, the next card that we come to, this is an Eight of Wands. This is in the position of your fears and worries. Okay? And this card is all about things that happen very quickly and suddenly. They're very intense and very wow, and then they're gone. Like a flash in the pan. So this might be what you're worried about. And this, I think, is kind of the obstacle that we have to overcome. A little bit of a speed bump here in this fire energy is your worry, your concern. I don't want to call it a fear, right? Because that sounds very serious. It's a fear. This is a concern, something that might kind of worry you a little bit. And this is that idea that this new connection, all of these Aces here, right? These new opportunities, yeah, they may become these wonderful, blossoming, beautiful, harmonious, and resonant experiences. But what if they don't last? What if, like this Eight of Wands, they show up, they're there, and then they just kind of jump out of your hands. They just kind of leap out of your grasp, right? Like this card just did. You know, what if it doesn't stick around? What if you're not able to hold on to it? Right? This card literally jumped out of my hand. So I think this is the concern. And yeah, there's the potential, especially in this manifested realm, on this earth plane, that things aren't going to last, right? I mean, honestly, nothing really does, right? In the grand scheme of things, nothing lasts forever, but at the same time, energy cannot be destroyed, only transformed, okay? So if this particular experience, if this disc experience with the emotional fulfillment, if this earthly, practical, this mundane, this manifested reality doesn't last very long, which it won't because it's manifested, right? So it's subject to birth, growth, and decay, okay? And then rebirth as something else, okay? So your experience may not look the same. It may not be with the same people or the same environment, but it's going to happen again. That feeling can still be there. And that is this more eternal fire, right? This is the experience that is still the same, even though its manifestation may be different. Does that make sense? I don't know that I'm saying that right. But the physical materials that it is taking as its vessel, as its clothing, may change. But the energy is still the same. That feeling can still be the same, right? Because it's made from the spiritual fire. So that, I think, is kind of the message here of this Eight of Wands, that it says, yes, the physical part of it, the manifestation is transient because that's the nature of manifestation, but there is that spiritual fire behind it. So it's a valid concern, and it's something definitely to think of and be aware of, that yes, you may not be able to hold on to this forever, you know, and who knows, maybe it'll be a shorter or a longer duration, we don't know. But the next card, I think, is also very apt here, and this is the Emperor. The Emperor is sort of the one that's holding on to that spiritual fire, knowing that it may be transient, knowing that it's subject, that the manifestation of it, at least, is subject to the birth, the growth, the decay, and the rebirth. But there is that spiritual fire behind it. And that spiritual fire is kind of where this Eight of Wands comes from. Okay, all of the fire cards, the pip cards, right, the numbered cards, have as their source the aces. Okay, so the ace is like the number 1, the unity, right, the source of that spiritual fire, manifests as the 8. It comes and goes. It's subject to the cycles, right? It's birth, growth, decay, and who knows how long it'll last, right? It's transient. And it can manifest in any form that we see with the earth cards. But then this Emperor, I think, is that one who understands that nature of the spiritual fire, how the fire is always the same, even though the flames may look different, the material that it is burning looks different, you know, it's a different fuel, it's a different environment every time, right? No two flames are identical, but yet all fire is fire, right? So the Emperor is someone that understands that and can wield that and can use that to exist through all of the manifestations, to maintain that kind of spiritual unity, maintain the Ace of Wands through all of those manifestations, all of the ups and downs, all of the transient coming and goings of the fire energy, how it manifests. Okay? So that does it for the Path of the Serpent. Let's look at this mystery card, this bonus card. I'm very curious about this. I wonder if this will be a major arcana. Maybe this will be the Emperor. I think that would be a very lovely kind of counterpart to the Emperor that we see. Though I wouldn't be too surprised if we saw some more fire here. Oh, even better, we see major arcana, we see the Star card. So the Star card is ruled by Aquarius, which is another air sign like you are, Libra. So this, I think, energy is very, very harmonious with you. Okay, this is really that star energy. It's trying to vibe with you. It's trying to give you that perspective, not of being down here on the material plane, watching things grow and then decay and die away, which is the source of sorrow and pain and kind of the source of this Eight of Cups, right? This is kind of why this is the mess that we're in here, being manifested beings. But this is taking some of this more heavenly energy, more spiritual energy, this divine kind of substance, right? That you are kind of washing yourself, and you're bathing yourself in this refreshing spiritual energy, this grace, right? That's allowing you to see things more from not even a solar perspective, but like a outer space perspective, right? A stellar divine perspective. And with the Star card here, I think that this is a lot of insight that you will be gaining through these experiences, right? Because we started with this very kind of practical, mundane thing. It's going to be something new coming your way, a new connection that's going to have the potential for that emotional fulfillment. There, period, end of sentence, reading over, see you next week. But there's a lot of other stuff going on, right? There's a lot more to you as a person, as a spirit, as a soul, as a manifested, living, breathing human being, than just, hey, there's a new experience here and you might get some emotional satisfaction from it. Cool, right? I mean, that'd be a good reading. I see readings like that all the time. But there is a lot more to you than that. And I think the star card here is trying to show you that you need to wash yourself in that spiritual energy, bathe yourself, have that baptism, that kind of wake up, right? Cold water on your face to wake you up to the higher reality of things. And see how much of this is part of your purpose, your life plan, your spiritual like destiny, right? And having that spiritual insight. And that's what the star card is all about. So this is a wonderful confirmation. This goes even above and beyond this emperor, the one who is able to kind of understand and wield all of this fiery energy, right? This spiritual fire, this light. But even behind that, there is this more subtle, deeper reality to things than even this fiery energy. Because fire is still another element, right? It's still one of the four. Behind the fire is that spiritual source of things. That's even more mysterious, that is even more kind of unknown and almost inaccessible. I think you have the opportunity to access it this week, and this is a really beautiful reading for you. And I thank you so much for joining me this week. We're going to take a quick look in the extended. If you don't want to become a member or you don't think I should do extended readings, trust me, you're not missing much. This reading is complete in and of itself. You don't need the extendeds. The extended readings are for people who want to support the channel and want to get a little bit more insight. They maybe have a couple more questions or a few things were unclear, so we do 3 more cards. Usually it's a lot of fun. Usually they're 5 or 10 minutes, but I think they give a nice little bonus, a nice little extra for people, okay? So if you want to do that, it would be a wonderful way to support the channel, and I think there are some great insights that come out of those extendeds. Anyway, this was your weekly tarot reading for December 11th through 17th here on Dove and Serpent Tarot, and I'll see you again.